All right, here we go.
In the jawline.
Well, and I'm old too, so I need glasses. Here we go.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love. I'm in Toronto.
Welcome to episode 1624 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Building Toronto's Skyline, a podcast and book from Nick Iones from Fusion Corp. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today are Zach Erickson, Alex Black, and Keith Hapler from HIGHTEENS. Welcome, guys. Don't all speak at once, please. How are you guys doing?
Thank you for having us.
Good, thanks.
Great.
Was that a moment where you just assumed someone else would say hello, so nobody said hello?
Yeah.
Is that what happened there?
I think we're waiting for somebody to say hello.
Hello.
It's usually Alex. He's the friendliest.
Alex, are you the friendliest?
No.
See, I thought there's something special about Alex because he brought indoor shoes, and in the history of this podcast, because I'm like, keep your shoes on because I don't care about this basement area. And he's like, I got indoor shoes. Like, that's impressive to me. You brought indoor shoes.
It's a Canadian thing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I've been Canadian for all my life. I don't know if I have indoor shoes.
Yeah,
but,
I don't.
It's an Eastern European to Canada thing.
Thank you guys for being here. Are you guys one at a time here? I almost think I need to address you directly because I want the HIGHTEENS origin story and I want to play some new songs. And I know there's a guitar here. That's very cool.
Oh.
But maybe right off the top, one of you didn't get the instructions. Alex, you broke my heart when I saw you crack that beer before I pressed record. But Zach and Keith, would you join me in cracking open your Great Lakes beer on the mic here?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Alex was half cracked.
Yeah, you stopped me in time.
Alex, it's all smoke and mirrors with Alex. But thanks for doing this. So Zach, you've got the hop pop because you don't like beer.
Don't like the taste of beer. Never have. Never will. Hop pop.
But you got a nice hop pop.
Yeah.
No alcohol in that one. And
enjoy hop pop whenever you don't want a beer.
Keith, what are you drinking over there?
I have the Canuck Pale Ale.
That's the gold standard. That's the staple.
A good friend of mine worked at Great Lakes for many, many years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he still drinks the beer all the time. His fridge is always stocked.
See, that's a good sign. If somebody works there, doesn't work there, but still drinks it, they know it's the good stuff.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it.
Are you guys Toronto guys?
Originally?
Maybe give me just one by one, maybe like, where are you from and when did you get here?
I'm from Waterloo, and I've been in Toronto for about 13 years.
And to help people with the voices, because I find you got all these new voices. So that's Keith.
Yes,
And you're the drummer.
I am.
Okay, we'll learn more about you in a minute. So from Waterloo, and how long you been here? Sorry?
About 13 years.
Okay, I'll get back to that. Now, Alex, are you a Toronto guy?
Yeah, I was living in Toronto for a while.
And now, whereabouts do you live?
Now I live in the outskirts of the GTA in parts unknown.
Okay. So in this current, I don't know what it is, snow, rain, hybrid we've got out there, it's going to be about 3 hours for you to get home. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, plus or minus 2.
Zach, where are you from?
I live in North York, Scarborough area. I like to say Toronto, but Keith always corrects me because he says that's not real Toronto.
So you know what? I'm going to say since 1998, I would accept that as real Toronto.
Thank you, Keith.
Since Mel Lastman came along. So, because I mean, you're in Etobicoke right now. Etobicoke is as much Toronto as North York is.
Yeah, thank you for settling the debate.
It's the It's the snobs
You look
like
at the nexus though. It's like where like the universe meets. It's like Scarborough, Toronto, North York.
I am at the Nexus. I'm right. Ever been to Johnny's Burgers?
oh, it's legendary.
Yeah, I'm right by Johnny's Burgers.
That's Toronto.
Yeah, that's Toronto. There you go.
Mm.
Debate settled.
Sorry.
So I'm going to just pay tribute. I'm going to spend a moment here while we enjoy our Great Lakes, in that we lost a good one. So everyone in this room is too young probably to remember John Donaby on FM radio in this and AM radio in this city. But John Donaby was on our airwaves for over 50 years. And much like you guys have now done, he came by for a great discussion a few years ago. And an absolute sweetheart. He was going to return in, I think it was October 2024. And then I was on a bike ride and my phone rings. I answer it and it's the great voice of John Donaby. And he's like, Mike, I'm sorry, I have to postpone. And I go, John, are you okay? What's going on? He goes, Mike, I have cancer. These are the words he says. And I'm like, oh my God, I just felt it in like my gut. Oh no. And then he went on to explain it had spread and he had to fight it and he couldn't visit. And he passed away on late Thursday night. So I just want to pay a little respect by playing like a minute, maybe 2 minutes of John Donaby on Q107 because we lost a good one in Donaby. Here is John.
And Born to Run, both from Bruce Springsteen, some powerful rock and roll at 528 on Q107 Toronto, Toronto's best rock. I'm John Donaby, and we've got about 13 degrees out there right now with mainly clear skies. Winds will die down this evening with lows around 7. For tomorrow, highs of 20, and same for Wednesday. Sunny and warmer, and mainly sunny for tomorrow. A good, beautiful few days coming your way.
Gamble Rogers is at the Groaning Board. I'll be there.
1 hour from now at 6:30, I'll have for you the brand new Cooper Brothers album, as well as music of the Eagles this evening on Words and Music. And Dean Hill, who I just talked to a few minutes ago, has been tuning up all day, getting ready for a visit tonight at 9 from the Cars. 2 of the members of the Cars will be here for a solid hour between 9 and 10 tonight, playing their favorite tunies, and they'll be the guest jocks tonight along with Dean. So we'll be listening tonight. The Cars in the Q107 studios playing some of their favorite music. That's between 9 and 10 p.m. On July 2nd, this band will be in our city. This is an old Roy Orbison song from years ago. Jim Capaldi recorded it as well. This is Nazareth with Love Hurts from Q107. That's Barefoot, formerly Atkinson, Danko, and Ford. Dwayne Ford now married to Patsy Gallon. 14 minutes before 6 o'clock. I'm John Donaby.
So that was John Donaby. He was at the last waltz, friends with all the members of the bands, and then the last member of the band passes away earlier this year, and now Donaby's gone. So just want to pay tribute. None of you would remember John Donaby on Q107 or CFRB or any of these Toronto stations, right?
No, but I did appreciate Nazareth there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that as well.
That's Nazareth, and I believe that's a cover, and I can't remember the original artist, but definitely a cover, I think. Now, I'm going to start with you, Zach, okay, because you're the lead singer of High Teens.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm interested in, if you could share with us sort of like just a little bio and like when you fell in love with music and how you came to form High Teens with these gentlemen. And then I'll get the story from each of you, and then I'll have a bunch of questions and some audio and stuff, and we'll get like the definitive origin story of High Teens.
Sure, yeah. So back in, so I grew up in Burlington, Hamilton, and I went to, when I was in high school, I did musicals and plays and stuff.
Sure.
And then I went to Toronto Metropolitan University, which used to be Ryerson. I went for policy and public administration, and I started playing guitar and singing probably like grade 11 or 12, and then I kind of just really fell in love with playing especially in university. I joined like a bunch of groups and was playing around the city, doing open mics and doing stuff like that. And then I started a band in 2014 called Little Boxer. And we were around for a while. We played from like 2014 to basically 2019, 2020. We were recording an album with great producer engineer called John Drew. It was a 9-song album. We're gonna release it, and then COVID happened, and everything was kind of like put on the shelf. And then a year went by, 2 years went by. Everybody kind of had their lives, so I was just kind of like roaming around. I hadn't played for like 2 years, probably a year and a half. With COVID, it didn't feel the motivation. You wasn't really sure what was going on. I play for a living as well, full time, and that was all on pause too. And then
what do you mean play for a living?
So I do like covers. Yeah, for I do like, I'm a cover musician for a living, so I play all around the place. I do like bars, restaurants, weddings, and then I do retirement homes too. I play retirement homes. That's fun. So
would you do me a favor at the retirement homes?
Yeah.
Hand out brochures for Ridley Funeral Home.
Okay, I will. I will. I don't. I got a call 2 weeks ago for a funeral. So
you're gonna play a funeral.
I'm gonna play a funeral. Yeah.
But are you gonna do what? They're a big fan of, I don't know, Bob Dylan, and you're gonna go beat Bob
play
Dylan.
MCR.
They want me to play. They want me to play Country Roads by John Denver at their funeral. They called me to make sure that I would still play their funeral, and I was like, yes, I will still play your funeral.
Was it one of your clients from the home?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah, so fast forward to like 2022, and then I was just kind of itching to start playing again and writing again, because I hadn't done so for so long. And then I saw Keith had a message on like Facebook. It was on like a Toronto musician network, and he was like, oh, serious band looking for serious, singer, guitar player. So I reached out, and he kind of like, he called me, and he was like, okay, well, let's set up an audition, and like, just so you know, this is a really serious project. We take this stuff really seriously.
Hey, he's not fucking around.
No, he's not fucking
Is that
around.
what you said?
I don't think I phrased it like that.
Well, I don't remember exactly.
Do you use serious that much?
I think I made it clear that we wanted to get going.
Yeah, we don't fuck around.
Hey, wait, you said 2022? Is that what you said? Or
It was 2022, yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it was
Not
like
that long ago.
March 2022, and then so yeah, we set up a date to jam, and or a rehearsal / audition jam,
Sure.
and then yeah, it went well, and here we are now, 2025.
So was that like, maybe I should ask Keith, was that like a chemistry test?
So Alex and I were in a band for about 6 years before High Teens. It was another trio, and we were touring all over the place. It was super serious, really, really serious.
Very serious.
Serious.
How serious
What was the
it?
name of this band?
It was called Hot Lips.
Yeah. Shout out to Houlihan from MASH.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
One of the few.
And,
I'm old, remember. I
yeah.
watched MASH.
and we were about to leave for a tour, and then COVID happened, and then we had kind of built a little infrastructure and managers and agents and label interest and all that good stuff.
22 shows in the States or something too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it all disappeared, and then the band kind of fell apart, and Alex and I wanted to keep going. So because we had been playing for so long, I guess a chemistry test. He had sent us a song. We had sent him a song, and he had sent us something back. He wrote over it. So we knew he could write and sing, and we just wanted to get in a room and make sure that like he could play and that we all got along, and it was sort of made sense. And
But Alex, you can sing, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can yell. I can't. Singing's not. I can't sing like Zach.
vocal
Yeah.
performer.
I would say I'm a vocal performer. Yeah.
Right, backgrounds only.
Yeah, backgrounds definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So before we return to Keith, because I got a couple more questions for him. So it sounds like a Facebook ad posted by Keith, because you two are in Hot Lips, and all these projects are. Is it so? COVID killed a bunch of musical projects. Like, is there?
yeah.
But it started a
long
bunch of new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Out of
Well,
death
every new
comes
beginning
rebirth.
comes
Yeah.
from some other beginning's end.
Like a phoenix, we will rise.
Use
again.
that for a song.
Yeah. Yeah. Use that at your funeral.
I will.
You gotta play it.
I will. I
Yeah.
will. And I'll quote.
Where
you.
is this funeral?
I don't know. It hasn't
It's
happened.
not really funeral home.
No. I
Wait,
don't-
it hasn't happened. Like the person hasn't passed
no,
away yet.
No,
Wait a minute, what?
No,
Wait,
they haven't passed away.
Holy shit! What?
They just called to make sure I would still do it when they pass away.
You made it sound like you had
Yeah,
like this
he-
gig booked.
Well, I mean,
So it's not in your calendar.
It's not on my calendar, but they're asking about price and just making sure I'd still do it.
What is the price?
We're all gonna die.
To do a John Denver cover at my funeral at Ridley Funeral Home, what's that going to set me back?
I don't know, probably like $200.
That's it?
Yeah, it's only one song.
Fuck! I want you to play at 3 of my funerals.
You're gonna have 3 funerals?
I'm going to now.
There's measuring tapes. Each of you get one of these green guys here.
Oh.
That's courtesy of Ridley Funeral
thank
Home
you, Ridley
measuring
Funeral
tape.
Home.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry,
Oh, that's
I will
awesome.
promote you to
But-
all of my favorite customers.
Yeah, well, book them before they die. You got to do the prepay or whatever. But I will tell Brad Jones at Ridley Funeral Home that if he ever needs a musician to cover a song for somebody, but ideally they die first.
You could tell Brad Jones that I took a deep dive and was looking to get into the funeral industry for a while.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was very
How
interesting.
deep did you dive into this world?
Well, I was looking to get into. You have to start as a
huge.
funeral director assistant.
Okay.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This was like my backup plan.
the home of real
Yeah,
talk,
yeah,
so
and
buckle
then
Weird backup plan.
why? I wanted to become a mortician. It's great.
My mom-
growth industry.
My
Yeah.
mom tried to get me into that.
Yeah.
After
It's-
high school, she was pushing me to get
It's a
into that.
good industry, and people don't realize how the importance that grief plays. The thing that really fucked up some of the funeral directors that I was talking to was it was like at my dad's funeral that I was talking to them about this, and
Oh my God, guys.
yeah, and there was and then prior to that, it was at my significant other's her grandfather's funeral. Like I was having like
Well, I'm
frank
glad you went to
discussions.
grandfather. I was worried. Okay, good. Now,
Yeah.
so you never went to school for this or anything?
No, I was looking into it. There's like it's a pretty quick program at Humber to go into, and then you can
South Campus or North Campus?
I think it was in North. I can't remember the
'Cause
North Campus.
You can walk to the South Campus from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'd come by and see you. And maybe you intern at Ridley Funeral Home or something. Who
Yeah.
knows? It's
I
on
mean,
that
I'm
14th
great at
and
carrying
Lynch, right?
caskets.
Well, you
Yeah.
always
You're
need
very
guys.
strong. You're very strong.
Yeah, that is one of my assets.
And he's got indoor shoes, so I feel like
Yeah.
he'd have the wardrobe for this.
Or booties. You get booties too.
Yeah.
So it sounds okay. So fascinating that you almost went into that industry there, and it is more fascinating to me that Zach booked a gig before the guy croaked.
Yeah, we're learning this just.
This is. I think
as you
Zach
are.
just avoids telling us things because it just.
But did you
becomes
get the
fodder.
money yet or no?
No. They're just
Okay.
making.
They
They're
put
just
a
There's no
deposit down?
prepay.
No, there's no prepay. Yeah. I mean, we haven't talked. They just called me to make sure I'd still do it. And I was like, yeah.
All right,
I'll
so
still do it.
speaking of Ridley Funeral Home, so Little Boxer's dead, Hot Lips is dead, right?
Yeah.
But
What a segue.
you guys all come together because of this Facebook post, and
Uh-huh.
you got good chemistry. We're only going back a couple of years here, right? Like High Teens is a relatively new band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who named the band?
Keith named the
Keith.
band.
I kind of named.
Can
it.
I ask? Because I was thinking on this. I literally did a bike ride this afternoon. I was thinking about High Teens because your first thought is smoking cannabis and getting high as a teenager, right? But then I'm like,
That's exactly what I meant.
but then
The weather.
There's nothing.
then
deep.
I thought the weather, because then I thought, no, I mean, they're neither teens, and I don't know, I didn't get a cannabis vibe from these guys. I'm not saying you don't partake, but I can't even get this guy to drink a beer. You're not smoking weed, right?
You can't get me to drink a beer, but you can get me to drink a delicious hot pop, a non-alcoholic beverage from Great Lakes
He's
Brewery.
like Van and White, this guy. That's good.
Shit. So the name, I used to work with a guy, and every spring we would be like hanging out outside, and he would say that he wants high teens. He meant the weather,
That's what I thought.
but I knew what he meant when he was saying it, but when he said it, my first thought just went to like my friends and I smoking weed, in high school under the bleachers.
Right.
And I don't know, it just stuck
High
with
teens.
me. I thought it like sounded cool, and I wrote it down, and it kind of looked cool, and I just kept it in the back of my mind for like a song title or a lyric, or
High Teens.
and it just rolled off the tongue. And it wasn't taken.
That was the important thing.
That's the most important
I
thing.
think, like, did you just go find that you could buy the domain name and that was everything? It's like, I can get highteens.com.
Well, we were looking at we would like plug in the band names on like Spotify, Apple Music to make sure.
see,
yeah.
yeah.
Make sure that we would be the first.
The
thing that popped up.
SEO on
We
it's
had-
not great.
We had better names, but they were taken.
Yeah, we had one great name that we really all like called. We were trying to call ourselves Newspeak from
Orwell.
from George Orwell's 1984.
which is very relevant today.
Yeah, it is. That was the other thing
Always
too.
relevant,
Is a
but
lot of the music that we write is like pertaining to that kind of theme, But
Well, you know what's bad SEO? Little Boxer is bad SEO, I
Yeah.
feel. And you know what's really bad SEO? Because we just mentioned this band because the last member passed away, but the band.
The bands are really
Like, if
bad
they
at
knew
SEO.
the internet was coming, they wouldn't pick that name.
no,
No.
not a great band name.
No, but high teens I like. But I have a question about the stylizing of the term high teens. Like, it's important that whenever I see it all caps in one word.
We want to yell it. just yelling it
But
at
there's
you.
no. It's not the high teens. It's just high teens, but
No.
one word.
No,
Yeah.
we are called the high teens by book or by like on posters that
we
we
are-
have no part of.
We are not the high teens. We're
No,
just high
It's,
teens.
High
it's like,
teens.
it's like that classic thing where just like I don't know where people get it from, but they just throw
The.
even though
It's the early aughts. There's like the Strokes, the Hives.
Yeah.
Like
the,
it's
Yeah,
the
absolutely
high
right.
teens, but that does not
The
flow off the
White
tongue
Stripes.
well. The high teens.
So did you have a group meeting to decide? Okay, guys, know the all caps one word.
It wasn't a meeting, but it was a conversation.
There's a lot of conversation.
I was very adamant about the all caps because that was a thing people were doing.
Our Facebook group chat is actually just called No Name
Yeah.
because we couldn't figure out a name for the band,
That's
so
funny.
we just named the group chat No Name.
It's still the picture of the Unabomber, right?
My wife hates our band name.
Oh, the sketch beat. Yeah, before, yes.
Yeah.
My wife
That's
hates
stickers
our band
everywhere. I
name.
see it.
She tells me all the time just how much she hates our band name.
Oh.
And I'm like, you know, I chose it. She's like, I know, I just hate it.
But she didn't tell you that when you originally picked it.
No,
though.
she did.
Oh, she did?
From day one.
Oh,
Day one.
you didn't tell me.
she
You didn't tell
voiced
me
her-
that. You didn't tell me that. You just told me this recently.
But we should get 100 people who don't know you guys in a room, and we should say high teens. What does that mean? And see what percentage thinks it's about teenagers getting high, and what percentage thinks it's about the weather.
Yeah. Someone told me they thought it was because we didn't want to grow up. So we're constantly, like, you know, we're in our very, 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 very high teens.
Oh, I see. Like 19, and then 20 teen, and
like
21 teen.
50 teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought that was so.
That's pretty good.
But for the record, it meant teenagers doing drugs.
Is that the definitive, or is it the temperature thing?
That's his interpretation.
When I brought it to the table, that's what I meant.
My interpretation is teenagers walking up lots of flights of stairs and getting very high.
Right. Like if you went up the CN Tower.
See, whatever you want to make it.
That's so stupid.
You're stupid.
That's so stupid.
No, it's not. That's what I think of. You guys don't think of teenagers walking up many flights of stairs?
No, we're not stupid.
You could have done a hybrid, little hot lips, or
Ooh.
Little hot lips.
Little lips,
little lips.
Box lips.
box lips.
Right.
Hot box.
Box in.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
All right, we're workshopping this. Okay, but let me please ask Keith about. So I know you talked a bit about Hot Lips, but you were also a member of a rather well-known local band.
Yeah. Are you Die Mannequin?
Yeah, I'm thinking Die Mannequin. Only because
Yeah.
I mean I've seen Die Mannequin live, and how many years were you in Die Mannequin?
I did their entire last album cycle up until the last show. So the record that I was involved with was called Neon Zero. And I think that came out in 2015 or 2016? 2015.
2015. I'm pretty
2015.
Sure. Yeah.
And I did all of the touring on promo and TV stuff, all of that with the band. And then I played their last show, and
Well, speaking of tragedy, I mean, I'm sorry for your loss. Like that news was devastating to learn that Care Failure. I was 36 years old. He
yeah,
passed away.
yeah, she was great. I was such a fan of that band. To actually get that gig was like a dream come true. I remember watching that band with my ex-girlfriend in high school, smoking weed.
Getting high.
Getting high as a
Before it
teen.
was legal.
Yeah. And she was such an amazing person, and an amazingly talented musician and songwriter. And I owe her so much, and I'm so grateful for the even it kind of felt like a short time I got to spend with her, but I'm really grateful for it.
It's just so shocking. I mean, you know, it's shocking when anyone dies, except maybe this guy who's wanting to hire Zach for that.
This guy's profiting off of this.
You know,
$200.
Oh wait, so he wants John Denver.
She
so
wants. She wants.
She.
John
So
Denver,
I
yeah.
see that. I assumed gender.
I'm
on
very
this.
popular with
I
the
did
old
too.
ladies.
I did too.
I know
thought it
because
was a
John
guy.
Denver. I didn't. You know, I won't make any more assumptions.
I'm more
that's for
popular
sure.
with the old ladies than the old
Yeah.
men.
But if you want John Denver, like she's got to be like 110, right? Like how old is this one?
I don't know. I did meet a 109-year-old in my travels
At an old age home.
at an old age home. Yeah.
Is that the record? That's old.
That's my record so far. Yeah, I met some 104-year-olds. One 106-year-old.
Quick aside. So I produce a show for Toronto legend named Peter Gross. Peter Gross was on City TV during the Moses era. This guy's just living legend. But we were going to launch a new show called Senior Moment. And he was going to produce it, and we were going to get advertisers who want to like target old people. Like we had this great plan. So we did a couple of episodes before we had any sponsors. And he went into an old age home and he interviewed a 104-year-old woman. And they had the greatest chat. And Peter's like, you won't believe it. I just talked to this 104-year-old woman, and we talked about this Great Depression. And then 1 week later, she croaked.
Zach
like,
got a gig.
Like she, no, she said, yeah. She said, I got a gig singing John Denver at a funeral home.
Yeah.
No, but like, so this woman lived 104 years, doing great. You know, that's a long time. She's on the planet, living a long, happy life. Meets Peter Gross, the legend, and that decides I'm checking out. I'm out of here. Yeah. Like she didn't make it a week.
I guess she didn't like that conversation very much.
It's just I thought it was. She was doing fine until Peter entered her life, and that was it.
I should follow Peter around. He gave me a lot of work.
Well, can you bring the Ridley Funeral Home brochures?
Of course.
You and Peter could make a killing. Whoa, that's another idea.
Yeah, he kills it.
You ever watch Dexter? Okay. Can I play older? I want to play an older high teen song just so I can give people a taste of what we're talking about, and then we'll play new stuff.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So you don't even know it's coming because I will tell the listenership. There was an attempt to get me audio, but it was unsuccessful. So I did it myself. I just went and said, I'm going to try to do this myself. So I don't know, maybe you're going to be, I love the song. I hate the song. We're going to get a full review from all three of you. This is an older high teen song. This song is Dynamite! Dynamite. Okay,
That's
who can
the
tell
name
me?
of it. Shit.
We haven't played that one live in a very long time.
Who can tell? I mean, I pulled it because you have a YouTube channel and you got it there, so I grabbed it. Who can tell me anything further? Like, what is this? Is this a first album, an EP? What's this from?
This is our EP, and our first single, or
It was the first single.
yeah, it was our
first
first
single,
single from the EP, Bad Broken Things, which we worked on with a fantastic producer called Ryan McCambridge, who we really love. It was the song is I love this song. I really like the song. And one of the things I like about it is the process. The song wasn't really working. You know what I mean? None of us were really figuring out how to like get it right to record, and then all of a sudden something kind of just clicked. You know, everybody kind of changed their parts, and then when we heard the finished product, we're like, "Well, this actually sounds pretty good." And I remember because I was going back and forth with Ryan, he's just like, "Something's just not fitting. Like this is not."
Well, what did you change?
Well, I think Keith changed the drum part.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of bands, and sometimes when a song's not working, you're just like, next. This band won't give up on any songs, and the ones that were kind of the hardest to figure out, or the ones that gave us the most trouble, end up being some of the more popular ones that we play.
Yeah, and
It's a unique characteristic to this band.
Stubbornness. Everyone's too stubborn. But yeah, Keith changed the drum part up, and then that kind of like opened the way where I figured out a new guitar part, and I changed up the chorus melody, and all of a sudden everything kind of like settled in a lot nicer. Alex was perfect from the beginning. He didn't have to change much.
Yeah, have we told the universe yet that Alex plays bass?
Yes.
Well, we just did it. Because we only mentioned that beautiful voice that he said is not quite good enough to lead.
Technically, Alex plays bass and guitar because Alex has a fantastic rig, which he runs his like bass signal through a guitar amp as well. So he's kind of like our bass player and rhythm guitar player. he's very proud of it. We're all very proud of his rig.
Did you know Ryan McCambridge was nominated for a Grammy?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, would you know what that was for?
It was for Mastodon, wasn't it?
Mastodon, yes.
Fucking right, it was.
Yeah.
I've seen Mastodon live 9 times.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands.
May I ask you about your neck tattoo?
The skull. This was actually a logo for our old band.
It's the Hot Lips tattoo.
But the difference is, and I make no judgments, man. Go nuts.
I got it on my neck.
Yeah. So Keith got the tattoo on his arm.
Yeah.
He can wear a suit, you go to court, and the judge won't see it.
I didn't have any more space. I had to.
He's all tatted up.
I ran out of real estate.
We were out for breakfast the day we were getting them, and the singer Carly of our old band, Alex, like, I'm gonna get them on my neck, and I was like, don't. And Carly's like, do it.
No, but it is low. Like you could wear a turtleneck.
Yeah, I could wear a turtleneck.
Okay, these words, they live rent free in my head. Brian Setzer from Stray Cats. This is a long time ago now, but he said, "Ink up all you want, but always make sure that if you're wearing a suit, the judge can't see the ink."
Yeah.
I mean, he's from the United States. It's a little different down there, but yours, you'd have to wear like a turtleneck to court.
I can purchase higher collar shirts.
Oh, like Don Cherry used to wear there.
Yeah. Or I mean, turtleneck's fine. I'm okay with looking like.
But are you done?
Bond
It sounds
villain.
like you're you still. I mean, are you gonna go like Post Malone? What are you gonna keep going?
I'm not going to do my face and hands. Yeah. I think
No, that would be silly.
Yeah,
Just getting a skull tattooed on your neck.
At some point, it's a lifestyle
So
choice.
is that the Hot Lips tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the Hot Lips logo.
Yeah. I love skulls, so it worked out great.
Does it like skulls quite
Yeah,
a bit?
they're like all over my house.
Well, this all
Yeah.
ties back to the funeral home.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, we're starting a business.
So
It's a big thing you got to cover up though, because it's a fairly conservative industry. So
but you wear like 3-piece suits in that one. Like the high
Absolutely.
collars are built in here. So Zach, do you have any ink on you?
I do not have any ink on me.
So you don't drink beer.
Yep.
You don't get ink.
No ink.
You don't smoke weed.
Nope.
What is the most like? Do you have any vices? I guess I'm wondering.
video games.
My vice is just caring too much.
When you're in a job interview and they ever ask you like, "Do you have any like personal flaws?" And it's like, sometimes I just care too much.
Yeah, sometimes I work too hard.
Right. I overwork myself.
Zach just looks them in the eye quietly and farts. That's what he does a job. That's why he plays music now for a living.
So it's funny to have old stuff. Like I played something from that. I wanted to get something pre-Insomniac. What's the name of the new album?
There's no album.
Okay.
We've just been releasing singles. Because
We're rappers.
because we're rappers and the long form music medium is dead. No one listens to albums anymore.
You know what? This is streaming's fault, right? Like,
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Totally
We
is.
would love to make a record.
Yeah.
We grew up on records.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love records.
I've made records.
but you can do it anyway.
Yeah.
You could. It's just incredibly expensive now too.
Well, it's not.
It is-
We
it's-
choose to make it.
Let's
sound
have this
better.
meeting right
Yeah.
now.
It's true. It is. It is not. It
Point of
cannot.
contention.
It cannot be expensive, but it's also.
Is that because you're you stubborn perfectionists here?
Yeah,
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Hayden. Now I'm going way back, but Hayden had like a 4-track recording device in his bedroom, and he made like As Bad as They Seem. It's just some you don't have. You can go lo-fi on there.
Yeah.
Well, we might
Oh,
try.
yeah,
we
I'm
might
into
try.
it.
I've
I'm into
sold
it.
Alex on this.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I've been trying to sell them on this.
We might try again. Like I think the newer stuff that we're working on right now is a little bit we definitely couldn't do like for the Bad Broken Things EP. It was we had the we were fortunate enough to get a grant as well, and then we were working with Ryan and that was a really like well produced rock
Sure.
album and you can't like
Yeah, Ryan's amazing.
Ryan's
Like,
amazing.
he's just-
Yeah, he's just
Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
We did.
Who beat him? Do we know? Who beat that guy?
I don't know.
I don't know, but fuck them.
Yeah. See you in the funeral.
For Insomniac though, we did record the drums and the bass on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did track the.
Well, do you want to play Insomniac and then we could just talk about the new stuff?
Sure.
When does this single drop in the public realm, Insomniac?
Today.
Today.
It just dropped today.
So can I ask what that means? Like, does that mean you switch it? Like, you press a button in your Spotify management
You
console or
automate it.
something?
Yeah, it's all automated.
Oh, you schedule it.
Yeah.
So of course you
We
do.
just have other people that do it for us now.
Yeah.
We fully could do it ourselves.
It's not that hard.
In my mind, it's like you've got a YouTube video, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be unlisted.
Mhm.
And then
Yep.
you wake up today. This is February 3rd, 2025. And you change it from unlisted to public. And you're like, I just dropped a new single.
That's right.
Yep.
That's basically how
That's
it
pretty
works.
much what it is.
Right. Well, let's listen to Insomniac. This is today. Available today. Insomniac by High Teens.
Blacked out, did you say something? Turn around, everyone's left me askew. Guess it's time to move. I look up, my father's laughing. Blink once, now he's collapsing into the graveside of a fool. Was it all lies or did you believe in the show? Throw in a smile, make it up as you go. I'm not fine, I'm the disaster. Can't stand up because I got plastered on cheap red wine. Listening to homemade lies.
Who wrote this song?
Well, we write all the songs together. Do you mean like lyrically or just musically?
Oh, both.
Well, I write the lyrics and then we all get in. We're like a very classic band. We get in the room together and we figure it all out together. It's not like one person comes in and is like, this is what you do, this is what you do, or kind of has parts. And I think that's like the best part about being in a band is the interactive nature of
Collaboration.
Yeah.
What are the lyrics about? Since you wrote that,
it. Well, Insomniac is, it's this.
these guys are laughing by the way.
What are you laughing about?
Go on, Zach. Is it about a power dynamic of some
No,
sort?
no, it's not. We had an interview with Ed the Sock,
Yeah.
and
In person or is this a remote?
remote.
And every answer Zach gave was about a power.
No, but
dynamic.
so the first EP, Bad Broken Things, is about the themes is about power and obsession, right? So a lot of the songs are about the same thing, but different takes on it, right? So and the Sock would be like, "Well, what's this one about?" And I was just talking about it.
Hey, you're talking like I can't do it, but Ed's been over here. But
Yes, it's about a power dynamic.
And then he started picking up and then making fun of me. So that's why they're laughing. But Insomniac is
and
not.
this is for Oshawa, right? The Rock.
Yeah,
Yes.
94.9.
Yeah, he does the all night show.
But Insomniac is not about power dynamics. Insomniac is about it's about kind of like growing up and looking back on your childhood and realizing, that your parents and the people that were around you, the adults in your life that you looked up to, they were these flawed individuals. They didn't have everything figured out. It's like looking back on your childhood with an adult perspective now, because when you're a kid, you look up and you think everyone has it all figured out by then. You're gonna have your life all put together. You see these people because you see the best version of them when you're a kid, right? And that's what kids, they see the best version of people. But then you grow up and then life happens, experiences happen, and then you realize, oh, my mom, my dad, my uncle, my mom's friend, like they were just people, and we're just people, and
They're just doing their best with the tools they have in their toolkit.
exactly. And it's like being at that age. I'm at that age now where. And it's this weird thing because I was just in Serbia with my fiance. She was originally born in Slovenia and then has family in Bosnia, so we were there visiting them. And it's like we're sitting around the table and we're sitting there with her brother and her sister-in-law and their 4 kids, and you're kind of just sitting there and you're realizing like I am that adult now. I am that person that I remember looking up at during Thanksgiving dinner and listening to and being like, oh, this person's so cool, this person's so lame, you know what I mean? and it's that weird kind of like full circle moment, and it's funny because like sometimes I just feel like I'm not an adult. I don't have everything figured out like I thought I would, and that's kind of what the song is about.
This is like the antithesis of the pursuit of happiness is I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, so Ed, so his name is Steve Kersner.
Yep.
And he does that voice.
Yeah.
And I think remote, at least then you don't have to see that, oh, this dude, because I've had him. I've had him
we
down
met
here.
him.
We met him.
We did we opened for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were. It was part
Where
of
was
a show.
this?
It was in Oshawa.
The Baltimore.
The Biltmore.
Or the
Biltmore.
Biltmore,
We were.
sorry.
It was for a charity for the homelessness.
Like, is this a socks thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've heard, okay, that's very cool. And I grew up on Ed's night party. Like, I'm a big
So
Ed the
did I,
Sock
yeah.
guy. Okay.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's funny. Tomorrow's guest is a guy named Jeremy Hotz, and he's from this same kind of scene that Harlan Williams was from. And this is,
I know who Jeremy Hotz is.
okay,
Yeah.
he's here tomorrow.
Oh wow.
I got to ask him about this 51st state bullshit because Hotz used to have a big routines about Canada does in the name of the country, how we couldn't defend ourselves and all this. And he's a Canadian who's moved to the States. I got questions for him.
Remember his stand up? Yeah.
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 But he would, it's not him. Harlan Williams would be Ed's, like the host, and Ed would be like the Ed McMahon type character or whatever on Ed's, the one that was on Cable 10 before it moved to City TV.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, when you're doing a chat with Ed the Sock, my question is does he have to do funny shtick the whole time, or can you have a serious talk with the Sock?
Relentless.
Yeah, like you can't do. I'm just wondering, when you do an interview with Ed, you're just sort of fodder for his joke.
Well,
And
you-
he's so good. You're just on edge the entire time.
You can try and have a serious talk, but then he'll make fun of you.
I did make him uncomfortable in that interview, though.
You did do make him
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
How can you tell me? I need to know how Kersner's getting.
I think I
uncomfortable.
took it too far, and he was just like, "All right, let's go to a song." That was.
I don't remember what you said, but that sounds like you.
Yeah.
If you can't take the heat, stay out of the dryer. That's what I say to the Sock himself. Okay.
I grew up on fromage. I know what to
Yeah,
expect.
fromage, but
Yeah.
fromage, just again, I was as the old man in the room. Fromage was a Christopher Ward thing. You remember this Christopher Ward? He was the first VJ, so this is going back to
Like
'84.
first
As much
generation
music
VJs.
VJ, yeah.
Literally, him and JD Roberts were the first VJs.
Dude with the long hair too. The big guy. Forgot his name. He wore
Dan
that.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. He died of a heart attack a while ago. But this guy Christopher Ward co-wrote Black Velvet for Atlanta Miles, who he
Really?
was dating at the time. Like, I think he made a pretty penny off this. This is you got that's your job. You guys get in the room and write a Black Velvet, man. You can feast on that forever. I had the guy who co-wrote Two Princes for Spin
I
Doctors
saw
was here
that.
last week.
Yeah.
I don't think he has to work again in his life because he co-wrote Two Princes.
You're seeing Black Velvet by Atlanta Miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to have a rehearsal space, and the drum set in that rehearsal space was the drum set used in the Black Velvet video.
Okay,
Oh.
that's a mind blow right
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah,
a mind
that's a
blow.
little.
But all
known
this is to say,
fact.
so Christopher Ward would do fromage. He would do a French character because he had this comedic background, and he would do this. And then Christopher Ward moved on because he became a popular, like a rich songwriter. He left Much Music, and Ed the Sock just kind of took it on. But Ed kind of made it like more like making fun of the act instead of sort of like appreciating the true stinky cheesiness of this fromage. Like he sort of altered it. But I still watched Ed the Sock fromage.
It was such a great thing to end the year on.
And then they had Tree Toss right after.
Tree toss, yeah.
where
Steve
they-
Anthony would do that
Yeah.
back in the
A
day.
whole afternoon to throw a tree in a dumpster. It's brilliant.
So for an up and coming, I got a few questions just because you guys are a freaking band, man, and that single dropped today, Insomniac, and I got more too, and I know someone brought a guitar here, but like there is no Much Music anymore.
I
So,
know.
like, what is I mean, obvious. I'm just curious. Like, is it you just play to radio? Did you hire somebody to kind of get you on the radio? My buddy's on the air at Indie 88. And he says one guy makes the decisions on what gets on the air there, and my buddy who's on the air there has zero input into what gets on the air there. Like it sounds like there's only so many stations that are going to play a song like that. What are you doing here? You're just trying to see, hey, will CFNY pick it up 102.1 like they played Die Mannequin?
We we're managed by Doug Elliott, who is I think the program director at 94.9.
He drove here because I put on social media I wanted a Wii so my kids could play Mario Kart like a 2008 or 2009 Wii.
Such a good Wii
And he
game.
drove one
Yeah.
over here.
Did he?
Doug Elliott.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's a good guy.
Great guy.
There are the odd radio stations in major markets that'll still have like an unsigned hour or something to that.
BBC 6, but that's way overseas. They do that.
We've focused primarily on being a live band to try to get our just out there and pound the pavement, and that's something I've always felt strongly about growing up playing in punk bands. It was always you go and you play and you play and you play and you play anywhere, anytime you can. And Hot Lips was like that, and played a lot of shows with Die Mannequin, and that's always the way I've liked to do it. And plus, I think we all really enjoy playing live.
Yeah.
So that and Spotify and YouTube and all those wonderful platforms.
But that game is rigged, right?
Well, I mean, it seems to be every band's
Yes.
favorite topic of discussion.
Yeah.
But Spotify could be listening right now, so.
They're always listening.
By rigged, we mean you're great Spotify. No, I'm kidding. It's,
Bow down to your tech overlords.
Fight
It's
me.
a tricky game. I was talking to my wife about this earlier today, where when I was sort of growing up doing bands, there was sort of a mix of the sort of the social media aspect, but you also were able to network and talk to people. And it feels like if your metrics aren't there where they want them to be, you can't even really get someone on the
I think I know what you mean, like, because I always have these guys from CFNY back in like the 80s and even into the 90s, but they had a committee that would meet and they'd say, oh, here's all the new music we got. I like these guys. They're local. This is a good sound. We should add this to rotation or whatever. Like there was sort of a discussion like that. And now I feel like it's all like focus groups or something. Like some group of people are hitting like a button on how does this song make you feel 1 to 10? Does it make you feel joy or whatever? Like some focus group is deciding what are the, 5 songs that will get added this month.
Or if it's 30 seconds of something that can get played over and over again on a reel that people will keep reposting, which is another thing.
But people, that's one of the great things about playing live is the more you get out there and the more you play, people will still connect to stuff that's genuine. And
they're the ones coming out to shows still.
Yeah, and people
right?
are, I think they're a little starved for something different.
Like written in a room by a real band. Like human beings got in a room who play together and they wrote this as opposed to, I don't know, some AI monstrosity that got spit out by some algorithm.
Yeah. Well, everything has its pros and cons because it was definitely easier to get signed back in the 80s and 90s, but the contracts that the musicians were getting were terrible contracts, right? Like, whereas nowadays, the criteria for you to get signed is a lot higher, but the demands are also higher because of that. I that's what I was hearing a lot about these, TikTok signings, is, these bands, they get lucky, they have something catch on TikTok, and then they have a built-in audience because of that, so therefore they're able to kind of more negotiate better for themselves. So they're getting better deals.
So pros and cons.
Yeah, there's every era of music has its pros and cons.
And musicians have complained consistently through all of them.
Yeah, like we were
you were consistently, the musicians are getting fucked by the man.
Yeah.
Every decade.
Well, there was the Grammys last night. There was that Chappell Roan speech. I don't know if you guys heard it.
Yeah, I did hear about healthcare.
Yeah.
It was about
labels.
healthcare and just kind of like it was very brave. It was just like looking after the musicians that aren't your kind of
She has not been seen since the recording
Well,
academy.
she was very nervous doing it. She brought up her book. She was like,
That's called truth to power.
yeah. But it's true. Like these labels have there's barely, they don't have to do much. It's like the artists that are doing everything. The artists own the property, but there's no real support given to the artist. It's either you do this, you make it big, or you're out, kind of thing.
There's no development process either anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Where if you don't really hit right out of the gate, you're kind of done for, at least for a little while. Where you'd hear stories about back in the 90s and the 80s where bands, you sort of expected your first 2 records might not do anything, but they anticipated that for you to get your footing. And I think it's unfortunate that artists and bands don't get the opportunity to sort of develop and grow in that organic way, that you kind of have to be fully cooked by the time you get out.
Same is true for the DJs on the radio. Like they used to go and suck in some small town Ontario or do overnights or whatever, and then they got better. And nowadays, there's nowhere to go.
There's almost no margin for error. Yeah. Like if you kind of screw something up, it seems like you're
So
done.
let me reveal to you 3 for the first time. So I think I get like 10 to 15 cold emails a day from like bands and stuff. Like, oh, we got a new single. I get a lot of this stuff, and I don't know. For some reason I clicked to listen to Insomniac, the song I just played right there, and I legit I liked what I heard, and I said, I wonder if they're local. Will they visit me in the basement? And then you guys are here now. Like, it's just 100% because I liked what I heard.
Thank you.
And I want to know about influences and stuff because, like, I'm from the 90s, and when I hear that song, like, I hear elements of stuff I remember from the 90s. Like, for example, it opens a little, don't be offended by this, okay? But it opens like mildly collective soul-y.
That's what my brother told me today.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it.
My brother told me that.
But it's not meant as an insult. Like, if
No,
I play,
no.
if I play, it's not even meant because Collective Soul sold a fucking ton of fucking albums. But like,
Yeah.
that's Shine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Shine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's only a few chords, but then you kind of feel a little of that Collective Soul feeling, but then it's got the hook, and it's basically it's a song I dig. Like, I'm curious if you three tell me, like, yeah, a little Collective Soul, yeah, just a little bit. But what are your influences?
Well, it's very varied, and that's one of the big reasons why I joined the band is or reached out, because in the Facebook post, Keith was
Very serious.
very serious, and he was listing a bunch of bands I don't really listen to. And I
Because he's a punker. What are these? Like, these are like punk bands?
well, they were saying that the inspiration originally for the band was like what, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. What else was it, Alex? Keith?
It was like Black Rebel. we kind of strayed from it, but the original idea was in that vein. The band that Alex and I were in before was dark imagery and heavier and
Very Nine Inch Nails inspired.
yeah,
too.
kind of loud and
like industrial, maybe? Or-
Yeah.
It was called electro grunge.
yeah, that's what people
Yeah.
called it. But one cool thing about the band and one cool thing about the way our collective writing works is that we all come from. So I grew up, like I said, in punk rock, and I was really influenced by bands like Fugazi and Minor Threat and stuff like that. And I think the punk bands of the early 2000s, and then Alex is influenced by
Guar.
not even music, just
Yeah.
war.
Norwegian death metal.
Yeah, I do. I do love Demi Borgir.
See, I'm gonna pretend I know that. Oh, yeah, I like them too.
And Zach's
I'm more like alternative, like indie. I love like big band rock, or I love the spring, like Born to Run, Springsteen, yeah, and that was and then
Which I think John Donaby's clip from Q107, he was coming out of Born to Run.
He did mention it, and then just like I grew up in the Strokes and MCR and stuff like that. So I've always been really drawn to like really hooky melodies and really like strong songwriting and lots of imagery and like that Springsteen kind of style of like trying to cram a bunch of. I remember I was like working with Ryan on I think I forget which song it was, but he's like, you really like to torture yourself by trying to fit as many words in as you can, don't you?
Have you ever seen Springsteen live?
No, it was too expensive.
No, but I saw him for the first time just last November. Complete mind blow. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but this 75-year-old guy just
Still
unbelievable. 3 hours.
Yeah,
He's
still
the boss.
He's the boss.
I just watched the documentary they put out about the first tour they did after COVID, and it was amazing. But yeah, it's a little priced out for us.
Yeah, but that's kind of so it's kind of, I feel like all our best songs are kind, Alex's bass lines are very heavy, very it wouldn't necessarily be something that the sound or the style wouldn't necessarily be something that I would play, but it fits in a really unique way. And it's the same thing with Keith. So everybody has their own kind of, which is what attracted me. Like I said, what attracted me to the band is everyone's going to bring their own thing, right? And and my hope was that we would make something
Make a stew or something.
yeah,
here.
make something different that is
It's
not
like
out
the
there.
Spice Girls, or like punk spice, and
Yeah,
industrial spice and indie spice.
Because if you go online and you type in like looking for people who like the Strokes and Franz Ferdinand, and it's just like,
Right.
I like that. They're gonna they can make a good band, but everyone's gonna sound like the artist that they were trying to replicate. Whereas if you come in and everybody has like so many different ideas of what this should be, then I think you can land somewhere in an interesting middle ground. You
Yeah,
know?
we knew it wasn't going to sound like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, but we needed something to get it rolling.
And you know,
Baseline.
I've lightened Alex and Keith a bit, and then
Throw in some John Denver.
Yeah, exactly. And they've definitely they've darkened me up. You know, the songs were right.
You meet in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's called compromise.
Compromise. I think that's a great
collaboration. Compromise.
That's a great way to describe our band. Is we're a bunch of
mediocre.
And if a little collective soul slips in there, there's no shame in that.
No
game.
shame in a little bit of collective
sold
soul.
a lot of fucking records.
Yeah.
And
So
Shine, by the way, my favorite collective soul song.
Great.
So,
I like that record Dosage. Remember that album?
Well, I remember the Much Music Hits is what I remember from Collective Soul. So they had December was a big hit, as I recall, and
I had a tape of theirs when I was a kid, and it's called Dosage. It's like a bunch of wasps coming out of a girl's mouth, and I still like that record.
I'm not gonna lie to you right now. I've never listened to Collective Soul, so
not even Shine.
You're fired.
but it proves that we didn't copy them because
Well, it also proves how young you are because you couldn't avoid Shine that summer.
I really like in that song. It sort of the bass line. I made it a lot simpler. Was inspired by Dinosaur Jr.'s "Feel the Pain."
Okay, but which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a great jam too. All right, so I actually want to play another song from. I guess you don't have albums, you tell me. So you'll tell me what. I'll play this. You'll tell me what it is. But first, I do want to let everybody know this is important information, and you guys take notes too, because although one of you lives in Aurora, but on June 26th,
I'm here all the time. Though.
Okay, so listen, this is important. June 26th, I think it's a Thursday, from 6 to 9 p.m., and I'm talking 2025. If you're listening to this in the future, after High Teens wins their first Grammy Award, and you're listening, and you're like, oh shit, listen to that. June 26th, 2025? I almost said 19. 2025. This is important. TMLX 18 is happening at Great Lakes Brewery, which is 30 Queen Elizabeth Boulevard in South Etobicoke. So be there because Palma Pasta is going to feed us all for free. So Great Lakes will buy you your first beer. Palma Pasta will give you some delicious Italian food to enjoy, and we'll have a grand old time. You guys are invited.
Thank you.
June 26, 6 to 9.
I'll come and request my favorite beverage from Great Lakes Brewery, Hot Pop.
There will be Hot Pop there.
Wonderful.
I think they literally make it there.
You get silly on the Hot Pop. You should slow down.
You know what? Did I mention this? Did I say no alcohol? I meant double alcohol.
Oh, that makes sense.
I screwed that
That's
up.
all right. I'm not driving.
I'm gonna stop making that mistake.
That would explain why he pissed himself.
No, that I came in like that.
Do you remember The Simpsons? Right. You woke up like that. When there's The Simpsons where the cop Wiggum's confused DUI with DOA. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's like, oh, my husband's got another DUI. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
she goes to pick up her husband. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. My daughter, who's 8, is upstairs and she's watching The Simpsons because she's a freak for Simpsons. And I actually only this past weekend I said, there's a Simpsons episode you've never seen because she watches on Disney Plus. And I said, I felt like I was telling I'm like Grandpa Simpson going to tell a story. I'm like, it's called Stark Raving Dad, and Homer washes his white shirt with Bart's red hat, and it comes out pink, and he wears it to work, and they send him to an insane
Is
asylum.
that the Michael Jackson?
That's the Michael Jackson one. So it's not on Disney Plus. It's the only episode they won't air on Disney Plus.
And was it proven that was actually Michael Jackson?
Was it actually him?
Yeah.
The singer was not him. It was a guy named Kip Lennon, but the speaking part was 100% Michael Jackson.
Really? I thought it wasn't him.
No, they did
the singing wasn't him because he had some contractual thing with Sony or whatever. So the singing was a guy named Kip Lennon imitating him, but all the spoken word in that episode was Michael Jackson.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's why you can't watch it on Disney Plus.
Oh, he was.
Oh yes.
Michael Jackson.
Put that all together.
Michael Jackson was an inspiring actor. I mean, he did acting things. Did you know that Michael Jackson wanted to play Spider-Man?
I know he was in The Wiz.
Is this a joke?
No, I'm serious.
Oh my God, The Wiz.
Yeah.
I could talk about
Come
that.
on in, ease on down.
I could
ease
talk
on
about
down. Hey, talk
that. Is
to
a
me.
wild movie.
Michael.
This is with
Diana Ross as
Yeah.
the
Okay, so funny. I know you're in the middle of a sentence.
No,
there.
that's okay.
But
It's
I
not- it's not
actually,
important.
the family wanted to see Wicked.
Uh-huh.
So I went, but I actually went in. I went in so cold. I had no clue there was a Broadway show called Wicked. I knew nothing about Wicked. when I was in the theater to see Wicked, I thought I was there to see The Wiz. Like I thought it was the same thing. Like because I just knew it was a Wizard of Oz spin-off thing.
Yeah.
And I only knew The Wiz because on an episode of Facts of Life I watched, Tootie was auditioning by singing the song "Ease On Down the Road." And this is my whole that's what I thought. So I'm like, whoa, this is not what I thought it was. And that's my story. It was like I would say skip
Wicked?
the first 90 minutes. Like just start watching it when they go to Oz, and it's not bad.
Okay.
I didn't find it as spectacular as some people who have probably seen it 10-8. But I'm not a big musical.
Was fantastic.
Are you talking about Wicked?
Did anyone catch the press tour?
We're talking about Wicked or
No.
Oz?
We're talking about Wicked.
Oh, okay.
Are we talking about Oz from HBO, or are we talking about like?
I loved fucking Oz.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, showcase on Friday night.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I have all of the episodes, the box sets.
So I was a big So here's the box set of The Wire, and
Oh, so good.
Like to me, I think of Oz as like no Oz, no Wire. Like it's
Shit.
like shit. Well, I'm gonna just take their money if they're giving it away. Okay, I love Oz.
Stringer
I
Bell.
love Oz, and I love The Wire. Stringer Bell, taking notes on a criminal conspiracy.
So good.
It was all so good. Okay, we'll do another hour on the Oz, but I want to play the song. But I did want to quickly thank Nick Iones from Fusion Corp. He has a book and a podcast called Building Toronto Skyline, and I put out that New Year's Eve, hey, we need a new partner on Toronto Mike to keep these conversations going. He put up his hand, so bless you, Nick Iones. We're going to talk to you on Toronto Mike shortly, find out more of what you're up to. You're a good guy. And recyclemyelectronics.ca, guys, if you have old electronics, old devices, old cables in a drawer or a closet or whatever, don't throw it in the garbage because those chemicals end up in our landfill. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your postal code, and you can find out where you can drop it off to be properly recycled. Got it?
Sweet.
Sweet. Okay, can I play a little bit of this and you can tell me what the hell I'm playing?
Sure, yeah.
Maybe.
What are we listening to, guys?
It's Munition Street.
Named after the street it was written on.
This is true.
We have a naming problem.
Yeah, we're really, really bad at naming.
I think we've gotten better. I think Insomniac's a great name.
But how long did it take us to get?
I still don't know what song that is when I see it on the set list because I call it like song 3.4 or whatever the hell it is I had it listed as.
We're good at a lot of stuff, but the stuff we're bad at,
We're really bad.
We're really bad at.
Well, so again, though, I dig this jam, and it does have parts of it that remind me of like that have spiritually inherited vibes of different '90s acts I like.
Oasis is the one
Oasis is the
people
big one.
always,
You want to know what I hear? You ready for this? 'Cause I hear Silverchair.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's it.
I hear something like, "Abuse me more, I like it. I don't know your name." I think I got that.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, this solo right here was kind of like 90s Weezer inspired too.
Just cop the melody.
Yeah.
Well, and also a little Pearl Jam in there. Like, I have to go back to where I hear the Pearl Jam, but there's a little like from Yield. I'd say Yield era Pearl Jam, like '98 or whatever.
This bridge part with the snare drum is my ode to Guns N' Roses' Matt Sorum.
Nice.
That's
So you know what what I heard there was Jeremy Taggart doing Naveed for Our Lady of Peace.
You were too kind. I wish. No, it was Matt Sorum.
Okay, well, all meant in respectfully because it's good shit.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Now, no pressure here at all, but I did see one of you brought a guitar.
Oh, I just brought the guitar and because it's cold out, so it's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know like if you wanted to play something or not.
No,
You
it's
don't want to play anything.
No,
Is that
I didn't prepare
Do you know
anything.
any
Because you know
John
he's at a
Denver?
funeral home.
I do know John Denver. I can play.
Would you play that John Denver song and play it so he can hear it before he dies? He's not going to hear it when he dies.
What we
Right?
should do is take the sign from the good people of Ridley Funeral Home and put it behind Zach, and we can get some content for them.
Only if Ridley Funeral Home pays me $200.
Look, we don't want to, dox this person, but does this woman have a first name that we could use?
No,
Or
I actually
give her a
don't.
nickname.
I don't know her first
Okay,
name.
let's call her Marianne.
because her
gonna go with
her daughter
Gladys.
called me.
Oh, it's a surprise, but
Yeah.
you know what? That's like she won't be there.
She won't be there.
This is a fucking okay.
It's the
'Cause
worst surprise.
Don't you wish you could? Serious question. Don't you wish you could just attend your own funeral?
Yeah.
Like people are gonna say such nice things about you.
Maybe.
and they might even play your song with a professional musician.
definitely say nice things about.
But you're not gonna be there.
Alex is the nicest person.
I want to haunt it. That's what I want to do.
I don't even think that's an option. Like I mean, believe
could
what
do
you
it
will,
like-
but
Was it Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn where they fake their death and attend their own funeral?
Yeah.
You do something.
I think
like
that was Gilligan's Island.
That was Gilligan's Island.
I don't want
Pretty
to attend.
sure.
I don't want to attend my own funeral. I just want a weekend at Bernie's my own funeral, where somebody controls my body and makes it seem like I'm still alive.
It's just like every day for you, isn't it?
It's every day. Now, before we press record, you advised me that something in this, the initial PR email that I did not. So, Cam Gordon, are you listening? I did not completely ignore this PR email. Cam Gordon has now become a dear friend, but he worked for a big PR company and sent me things all the time, and I completely ignored them. And I made sure, I didn't reply and say no thank you. I just completely ignored, did not completely ignore this email. But there's something in there that has changed. Can I just ask? I'm just curious. I can bring this up, right? That you were going to open for Edwin, but that's not happening.
No.
Am I gonna get a cease and an ixnay here? I just was curious if you would say anything on that, or if you would prefer to plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
Okay, you can tap out. You can tap
We'll
out.
tap out.
Okay, so what's
nothing,
next?
nothing against Edwin. It had nothing to do with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Logistics.
I always thought when Edwin was like at his peak there, I always thought he kind of reminded me of like Eric Lindros.
He does have
Yeah.
a Lindros thing to him. He's very nice. I've met him
Yeah.
before. Yeah, he's a pretty good guy.
And when they tour now, right? 2 lead singers, if I remember, they don't.
For IME?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
Is
have the new
Brian there
guy.
too?
I think they
So
both do it.
Yeah.
They have done. I don't know if they
Oh.
consistently do
Oh.
it, but
They have done it.
definitely have done it. Yeah.
Because I know that's a band where they changed up the lead singer and they got another big radio hit because "Summertime in the Void" was all over the
It's a
radio.
great song too.
Yeah,
He's a great.
Same with one astronaut, is it, or one more astronaut?
yeah, and "Levitate."
Oh, so good. Yeah, IME's awesome.
Yeah. Brian
And
was
so gently we go.
Yeah.
That's I'm a big IME guy.
Brian was in a short-lived band that Hot Lips played a bunch of shows. What were they called?
Bonds of Mara.
Bonds of Mara.
Wow.
Brian's also, he was a sweetheart too. He's a great guy. He's just super
It
nice.
was
yeah.
the bass player from Default, the drummer from Finger 11, and the guitar player from My Darkest Days.
No,
And-
it wasn't the drummer from Finger 11.
Oh, sorry. It was originally supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
It's a
But-
super group, but you guys are kind of a super group.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
So tell me what's next for you guys on our way out here. Like, what is next? Is there going to be some live dates, or are you gonna?
There are. We are going to be sort of across southern Ontario over the spring And then
in winter.
and winter, and we're waiting for some festival confirmations. And we are actually going to be in Toronto May 29th at the Baby G, which we're really looking forward to.
Oh, that's cool.
We haven't played Toronto.
My buddy Simon Head is there quite a bit.
It's a great room. It's
Yeah.
one of the better sort of smaller clubs.
We've-
It sounds really good, which is important to me at least.
Mhm.
We've been very fortunate that our last couple of Toronto shows have been like at the Access Club, opening up for bigger names coming through. So, but this will be our first kind of like, Toronto show. We're just like we're on the bill, and it's feels like just a local show.
Well, if we'll be announcing more and more shows, just as it goes on. Like I said earlier, we definitely pride ourselves on being a live band, so we're trying to play as much as possible.
And then we're going back in and this recording next Wednesday. Keith's laying down drums for some new songs, and
I'm actually recording with Devin from Altered by Mom.
You know what? that I love those two, Gina and Devin. They've been over a couple of times, and that's another band where I just like how they sound.
Yeah, they're great. I haven't worked with them yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. We've crossed paths a couple of times. He came and saw us at the Rivoli about a year ago, and we have some mutual friends. And he sent me a message being like, "When am I going to record you guys?" And then
we're like, okay,
next Wednesday.
You know, it's because I just mentioned in passing the baby. I mentioned Simon Head, and Simon Head works with Lowest of the Low, and I know Devin was producing something for Ron Hawkins from Lowest of the Low. Like they were working together. I think last time I was talking to Devin, but. Altered by Mom is another band where I think they got great shit. And I don't know, like, again, we had the same chat about, like, how you get on the radio. It was a whole, like how do you get your song? How do you make awareness or whatever? But I think you guys are smart to be focusing on the live shows and kicking ass live because that's where the money is, right? Like, you can't sell CDs anymore. Like, really, you're not going to get the streams. Like, you're not,
No. And plus,
Sell shirts, though.
Yep.
Yeah,
Until they
merch.
digitize those.
Yeah, turn it into a EFT.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're back to, who is it? Rain Maida was doing that from Our Lady Peace.
yeah, he had some NFTs going. It was like
Or
early
NFTs.
on, didn't he?
NFTs.
Yeah, it was like,
Not EFT.
oh, yeah, NFT, yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Electric fund
He's
transfer.
straight edge. He doesn't know about this NFT.
That's
Whatever. To be honest, I've never invested in crypto because I don't understand it. Like, I can't invest in something I don't
You're
understand.
smart. You're smart.
that's
I'm
man.
the way to
smart,
do
but then
it.
I hear people are talking about, oh, I put $40 in and now I'm like a millionaire.
I've
know what
also
I
heard
mean?
people put a lot more than $40 in and lost it all. So don't
And now
worry.
they're a negative millionaire.
Right. I guess, and again, I don't understand it, so don't listen to me. But I feel like it depends. I feel like maybe Bitcoin did okay, and the rest all disappeared. I don't know. I don't pretend to know this world, but
just do.
but I'm not buying your NFT, is what I'm telling you.
Please buy my NFT.
Because I don't understand it.
It's the only way I can fund this this record. Please buy my floating monkey head for art.
Do you have other jobs? Like, do you have other gigs? I mean, other than you're doing cover.
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm a cover musician for a living.
But like, I don't know. I talk to guys in bands I love, and I go see them, and they go, "Yeah, I got a 6:00 start because I'm delivering packages for this company." Like, and that's their job. And it's like, oh yeah, this is Canada.
Yeah.
Like our
Yeah.
rock stars have other
Yeah.
jobs, like the CFL players or something.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I play with other people when they'll have me, but my like 9 to 5 is I don't work too far from here. I work for a company called Real Food for Real Kids, in one of their warehouses, warehousing. It's a large scale catering company that does nutritious lunches for kids in preschools and daycares.
And they're in Etobicoke.
One of the locations is
Okay.
at Etobicoke. Yeah.
Cool. And you're a male model, is that right?
Yeah,
Alex?
yeah.
He is.
good.
He's a male.
I'm a model actor, not the other way around. Yeah.
He's an Adidas model. He's a model for Adidas.
I noticed that you got the
Yeah.
rock the logo. And do you regret the drive from Aurora for this? That's a long way you came, man.
No, not at all.
No
I'm
regrets.
having a wonderful time.
If you
and drinking
regretted
this,
it, would you tell me?
Yeah, I'm drinking this Monty Mild Great Lakes Brewery beer.
Is it
It's-
good?
It's lovely. It has a nice hint of coffee, which I love.
I think if you check the date on the bottom, I think on the bottom there might be like a canned date, like they code it. I think you might find that thing was canned like super recently because
It was canned like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, the guy from Great Lakes brought it over today as fresh off the line.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's excellent.
So this is the kind of service you get when you come on.
You
Trying to
got
Make.
some connections over there.
Yeah.
Well, I produced their podcast, so we had to come over with some beer.
Do you have a
but,
podcast?
yeah, it's called Between Two Fermenters.
That is
Oh.
excellent.
They
Yeah.
sponsored. They sponsored a show I put on 2017, 2018. They were really, really lovely. My friend who I mentioned helped me hook it
Oh
up.
yeah,
and
your
they-
buddy. That's right. Well, remember this is you can go talk to the owner of Great Lakes Brewery. Like this isn't some conglomerate. Like there's just a guy who owns it, and it's a fiercely independent, as we say on this show.
Next time I see him, I will tell him how much I enjoy.
And it's
my,
Canadian beer, which we want to support now.
My hot.
Absolutely, because you know
Only
what?
Canadian
We're
beer.
at war.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
it's for a month. They little
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Ceasefire.
We don't forget.
What pissed me off? Okay, last political note here, whatever. But so in retaliation for the proposed tariff that was going to take effect tomorrow and has been like paused a month or whatever, Doug Ford canceled the contract with is it called Starlink?
Starlink. Yes.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
And then they announced they were working something out. Some, master negotiator Justin Trudeau got that really clever Donald Trump to heel down or whatever. Anyways,
by
I
agreeing
have
to
more
all his
words on
demands.
that. Right. But then Doug Ford uncanceled it.
Oh, he uncanceled
Yeah.
it. That
Like,
was-
because that was going to be somehow retaliation for the tariffs, which have been postponed. So now he's not going to cancel the Starlink contract. But in my humble opinion, we should cancel the Starlink anyway. Like, it should be unrelated to the tariffs, as like for security purposes, not to give Elon Musk this. Yeah, there's a Canadian competitor to Starlink. We should do that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the Canadian competitor? I didn't know that. What's the
I
Canadian?
can't remember the name of that damn Canadian.
Maple Link.
And that's as political as we're getting today with High Teens. They're not the High Teens. It's just High Teens. And make sure you yell it because it's in all caps. High Teens.
High teens.
Teenagers walking upstairs.
Oh, that means the 10-year-old just got back from soccer. That's what
Nice.
that means.
Oh,
The
there you go.
10-year-old was at...
Welcome back from soccer.
Welcome back. That means, yeah. Did any of you park in the driveway? That's because I have to know if I'm swapping cars later.
Nope,
but,
we didn't.
no. Oh, you're sweethearts.
Yeah.
You're sweethearts. I opened with the rest in peace, John Donaby, and that news hit me pretty good, but I just want to let the listenership know that we'll be talking more about John Donaby on FOTM Cast, which actually is until early April because we do it every quarter. But High Teens, I enjoyed this very much. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having
And
us.
thank you for my Hop Pop from Great Lakes Brewery.
And my Monty Mild.
You're all lucky.
And this premium lager, which I have yet to taste, but we will meet soon, my friend.
Yeah, you know what? So you don't drink. I have nothing more for you. But I do have some more beer for you guys to take back.
Yeah.
I got to make it worthwhile to come from Aurora.
Oh, it's
So-
worth it. I'll just shove it
Get
in
you
the
some.
space and we'll get drunk and come up with new music.
Mm.
Yeah.
If we get that far.
Yeah, we won't.
But we won't name them.
Just let me name your fucking songs.
I'll
okay?
be gladly.
Just
We'll
send me the
please-
song and
we'll
I'll send you the name.
we'll
Done.
send you the
That's our
email.
deal.
Holy
Please,
shit, that's
please,
a great
please.
idea.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,624th show. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. I'm on Blue Sky at torontomike.com. Blue skying up a storm, I guess that's what you say. Where's the best place to go if you want to know where you can catch High Teens
I guess
live?
Instagram, we keep pretty up to date. And TikTok,
Do we?
I've never
talking.
installed TikTok, but what's your handle on Instagram?
High Teens Band.
I'm going to tag, because we're going to take a photo now before you drive
Yes.
off at the tree.
I would love that.
Oh,
And I'm going
nice.
to tag you.
Yeah. High Teens Band is the best.
No, it's
place.
dark outside, so it's just going to be a black screen or whatever.
Excellent.
But yes, High Teens Band on Instagram is the best place. We keep that the most up to date. Instagram has replaced Facebook as the meeting ground for bands now. So
You know what? Just as long as you bow to your tech overlord, Mark Zuckerberg, he's happy.
Bring back MySpace.
heck yeah, bring it back.
Much love to all who made this possible. That is Great Lakes Brewery, Palma Pasta, RecycleMyElectronics.ca, Building Toronto Skyline, and Ridley Funeral Home. See you all tomorrow when Jeremy Hotz visits the TMDS basement studio. That should be interesting. Jeremy Hotz on Toronto Mic'd. See you then.